Alright, hey there Prox Gaming Crew, and this is Proxify here, and we are back for some more of the Paper Mario and the 1000-Year Door on the Nintendo Switch. If you did miss out during the last one, well, Dupless is now finally done once and for all. I know that we had to go about with the Dupless form of Mario that was going on from there, but now we do have the Red Crystal Star, which we now do have the Art Attack special move that is going to be happening, which is somewhat of a move that I hardly ever really go for, but it is something nice to go and use a little bit later throughout within Chapter 5 if you do want to get some extra special damage off on the Cortez boss that will happen, which I do have to say Chapter 5 for me personally is going to be another one of those type of favorable areas to be going off into with. I'm glad that we're already said and done with Chapter 4, so we don't have to really worry about with that anymore within Twilight Town, so we could at least now go and head off to Keyhole Key, which we'll be having a good old time with Flavio, which we will be meeting up with him throughout this episode for today. And while we are going throughout our way right now in Princess Peach's storyline, and also as well we are going to have to jump on into with Bowser's storyline within the following way of this episode as well too. Well, for right now, I do want to let you guys in on some stuff that did happen for today, because today is actually going to be with August 27th during this time of this post recording, and that does mean that I did go and see the 40-minute video of the Nintendo Direct for the partner showcase and with the Indie World stuff. And I do have to say there is some interesting games that I am very looking forward into getting. Some of them have actually been accessed and been available already for today, which I may probably get a little bit of a sneak peek with some glances at. I believe like one game I believe is already out for later today. That's actually going to be known as the Dominus Collection for Castlevania. Well, basically that is like a whole entire trilogy of the DS franchise. So you get to play like the Dawn of Sorrow game that happened on the DS. You also get to play Portrait of Ruin, which that is like one of my all-time favorite DS games from the Castlevania series in that one. So very cool that we get to go and have that one as like a more HD type of style of game compared from moving off from where the Nintendo DS is. One game that was actually a quite surprise for me is that I'm a very big fan of like anything JRPG related, so I'm actually excited to see that they actually brought Tales of Grace F from the PS3 all the way over to now into the Nintendo Switch, and it got himself like a little bit more revamped in a way, so it got more upscaled from the game as well too, which that's gonna be pretty nice. Originally before, this game was actually an exclusive game, only stuck in the Wii version in Japan for like quite a while, and I'm glad they actually brought it back once again, and I may possibly take a look at that game somewhat down the road if I am going to do maybe a review of that game, or maybe do somewhat of like a live stream let's play at some point later on down the road. And speaking about with live stream Let's Plays, I know that Echoes of Wisdom is just almost around the corner pretty soon, because I believe that game is like a September game, right? And by the way, if I do actually decide to do Echoes of Wisdom, you guys may probably see a little bit of a hiatus with everything that's going to be happening within Monster Hunter Story 1. Depends on how far we get ourselves into with Monster Hunter Story 1, because we're almost like pretty much nearing the end of that game. But I know that there's going to be a lot of like other different episodes that we're going to have to kind of worry about before reaching off into the finale for right now. But we'll see what happens from there. But now, since Princess Peach's storyline is all now and done, we are going to have to go and meet up with Bowser here, and it seems like they're going to be off to the Glitzville area to search for the Crystal Star, but again, they already came up short again, so it seems like Mario already went and got the Crystal Star already, since we already went and saw that, and we got that already from Grubba, but Bowser doesn't really know that just yet. So it looks like Bowser just went and left off with Cammy there, and decided to go and head off to Glitzville himself. Well, you know, this man actually does have the cloud car, right? So he's going to be off and about going that way. So this man is going to be going off and talking about how he doesn't need to go onto that whippy blippy there. But you know what? To be honest with you, his cloud car is not going to be having enough gas in the tank to be leading himself all the way over to the Glitzville area. And that's where we're going to have to go and do a brand new type of level with Bowser in the underwater course. And mind you, if you guys have never actually went and played through Super Paper Mario, this is basically like somewhat of like a precursor into like how Bowser actually gets controlled within the way of Super Paper Mario, because there's like other different like type of ways that happen where you kind of see like a little bit of a foreshadowing into like the next game Because, like, for this one here, there is a segment in Super Paper Mario where you do actually have to use your different characters to, like, basically swim underwater, and you do get to see the very beginning of here in this game of the 1,000-Year Door with Bowser's flapping arms, and that actually happened. He does the same type of thing as well, too, with the in Super Paper Mario as well. But there we go, just take the little bit of the spring up there, and we can get ourselves all the way launched to the end part. Yeah, I didn't really want to go show you guys all that too much around within the actual underwater stage, because again, having Bowser and having him like swing around in that area, he goes really, really, really slow. And even if you make him into a much more bigger Bowser, things will actually be a little bit more time costly within there as well. But anyways, we're all said and done now. It seems like Bowser made himself all the way back over here to the Rogue Port area after that big long swim. Yeah, I would probably guess that Bowser would be probably very tired after all that. He had to swim quite far away into reaching all the way over to this. And look at that, Kevy already went and had a great old time. Seems like she already got all these balloons and even got a Rock Hawk hat of all things. You know what? It would have been nice if Cammy would have got something nice for Bowser, you know, after he had to go and try to at least manage to reach all the way over to Glitchville, but he couldn't do it. Oh, and there you go. And just like that, Cammy gets burnt to a crisp by Bowser. But I don't know if I already went and said this already, but within these two videos for today, not only are we doing like Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door, but we are also going to be doing some more of what Final Fantasy X is going to be all about. Currently right now in Final Fantasy X, if you guys don't know, we are going to be picking up on a very special and secret hidden type of Aeon summon, which you don't really have to go to, but it is something nice to go and have, just so they can at least say that you managed to at least get the completion that we do need. But not only that, but you actually do get yourself a nice, good, interesting trophy reward as well too, since we are playing this also on the PS4 at this point. Now, before we go and actually start reaching off our way into the end part of the Twilight Town area here, and before we go and reach off to the 1,000-Year Door, well, there is also another hidden star piece right around here, and I'm pretty sure that by now, Crazy Steeple is now sent and finished with all the different star piece collecting that we have went and done now. So, very nice. Oh, and it looks like we also got ourselves a little bit of an email as well, too. Now, if you guys remember, we just went and did the thing that we had to go do with tech with the different quiz questions. Well, we already now know what exactly those quiz questions are all about, and that was all about how the demon is going to get awoken and how we're going to have to be able to go and try to put a stop to this as well, too, by using all the crystal stars. So we're going to go and take a little bit of a interesting pathway here where we do have the brand new spring. So we're going to be able to just go and bust down the big block here. And now, since we do have that spring already access to us, we can now just go and have a little bit of a much more faster way on getting back here to the 1,000-Year Door without ever having to use the airplane mode at all. Okay, so let's go and put this red star to good use, and we'll figure out where our next map location is going to take us, which we already do know where we have to go off into. Keyhole Key, of course. There's going to be a lot of new type of star pieces that are going to be located around within there. And you might probably want to be a little bit careful on the lookout for any type of fuzzies that show up. Because if you guys remember, when we were here in the glitch pit area from the last time, well, there's going to be some new fuzzies, and they are going to be showing up here in this version. So we are going to be seeing like the flower fuzzies, we are going to be seeing the jungle fuzzies. Those guys like to suck up a little bit more HP from there, and same with the flower fuzzies, they always like to eat up all the different FP as we go through. But hey, there's that cave. That cave is basically somewhat of a foreshadow, because we are going to have to head on into that way. And but before we can even head off into that area, we do need a new partner member. And that new partner member will be happening in the next episode. And you guys already possibly know who I'm talking about here, because we haven't really met up with him just yet. And that, of course, is going to have to be with our friend Bobbery. But we're almost done here. Not too many other things that we have to go and do now. Just have to go and speak on over to Flavio. And not only that, but since we do have a lot of Shy Sprites, well, we could also go and bump up with Vivian and get herself a new power-up as well. So yeah, so now we just have to go and talk to Professor Frankly, figure out where our next type of move is going to be. And there he goes, starting to break the fourth wall. Which that actually does quite happen a little bit throughout here at Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. It's pretty nice. Like, you get to hear one from good old Frank Lee out here, and then you also have one for, I believe, Lord Krupp as well, too. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think in the Animal Crossing version on the GameCube, I believe that also has some fourth wall breaking, because I believe, what's his name? Rossetti, I believe his name is. He actually goes and breaks the fourth wall all the time. Because if you ever do that save and exit type of thing, Rossetti does not like that. He's also really annoying and really despicable when it happens in the Smash Bros. Games. Like, ever since, like, I'm pretty sure I think it even also happens in Melee too, but I could be wrong. But I know that, like, in Brawl, you get to see Rossetti all the time. In Super Smash Bros. 4, you also do see him quite a bit. I'm glad that they actually removed him out of the area of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I'm pretty sure. I don't think you actually do see him anymore after that. But yeah, so nothing in the garbage pail. We already got most of the enemies that we did need within Chapter 4 anyways, so that's all good. Oh, and it looks like we got something with Koopa Koop and his hide-and-seek thing. But we don't really need to read off from that, do we? But yeah, so let's go for Vivian here. I didn't really get to see exactly what type of move that was. I don't think it's the move that I'm thinking about where it does like the multi-hit hits with the fire damage, so that will probably not be a thing just yet. And then we also have with Goombella here as well. Don't want to forget about this one. Again, mind you, we don't really need to really go out of our way to, well, give Goombella the upgrade. But hey, you know what? Since we're here, we'll just do it as well. Alright, and I think with that being said in mind, we are now all said and done. And now let's go and move off over to the inside and move on over here to where Flavio is. Now, I know that we met up with him before, but we just didn't really go into too much way of his talking throughout here. But now we're going to have to actually go and interact with him right now and figure out what's going to happen. So yeah, that red skull is going to become a very important piece later. That will actually help us out unlocking the actual cave to where we need to go and actually head on into the actual said dungeon there. Now, mind you, you don't really need to go out of your way to find out like what the correct type of text is all about, but I'm pretty sure I think one of them could possibly be like that romance type of text dialogue, but again, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, so he actually went and just talked about with the Cortez guy, and yes, Cortez will be the main boss here of this said Chapter 5. Now, mind you, Cortez kind of works in the same type of realm of how exactly, like how the Maintenance Vault Grapple was about. Because you guys remember back in Chapter 2, where Maintenance Vault Grapple had like those missile arms, and we were able to use Flurry to blow some stuff out of the way. Well, that's what we're going to have to go and do when we battle with Cortez, is that he's going to have a lot of different weapons, and they're going to be flying around, and we're going to have to make sure to blow those out of the battle arena as well. Oh yeah, so now we're going to have to show Flavio our map. So, unfortunately, Flavio's going to be stealing our Crystal Star map for a little bit of some time, so we're not going to be able to have the map right away. But not to worry, Flavio will give it back to us later. It's just that we're going to have to at least do something, I think, in a favor for him before we go and do anything else. That's going to have to be finding with Bobbery. But since we are getting ourselves closer to the end of this episode, I will go and give off my outro here. So anyways, thank you guys so much for going and checking out here with Paper Mario 1000 Year Door. It has been fun. We now actually do have our next destination. Keyhole Key is the next part that we're going to have to go reach off into with. And we'll get to see what else is going to be happening from there. And hopefully you guys also do go and check it out Final Fantasy X, where we are going to be getting a brand new Aeon Summon. So see you guys then, and of course, peace!